It feels good. It sounds good. Is it good? We're going to see a bit of fun. Something. Here he comes.
So time attack racing is basically a race against the clock.
It's a challenge from the world attacking time.
The fastest time wins.
Every car geek, every car nerd, every car enthusiast that has a pulse is here for it.
Basically the Super Bowl of time attack in the world, you know, it's like the biggest event, the tip of the spear, and where the fastest cars come to lay down the fastest times.
エアロがかっこよくって、音がかっこいいっていう。
As a driver, it's the ultimate challenge.
We are the best in the world at time attack.
End of story. We began when I was over in Japan in 2007, watching the time attack events over there, and the pro level cars were really coming of age, and I thought, man, this is cool shit, we've got to bring this back home.
Ian had come up with the idea, obviously what he'd seen at Scuba in Japan, and that time attack was a big thing. And you know, he set about making sure that people in Australia were aware of it, and started bringing stars from the JDM tuner culture that, you know, he worshipped growing up, and I suppose a lot of other people did too.
Where else can you see this? Where else in the world does this happen? It simply doesn't. From every visitor that I've spoken to from overseas, I go, do you guys have anything like this at home? No way. No way. This is just, we come here for this because we can't experience this anywhere else.
We've got drag racing horsepower coupled with killer aero, lightweight, pro drivers. It's just one of the most tantalising forms of motorsport that we've got.
この WTAC の一番面白いところはいろんなジャンルの車が見れるっていうことですよね。レーシングカーがあり、板車があり、でなんか綺麗に仕上げて見てくれっていう車があり、でさっき言ったようにとても美しいとは思えない化け物みたいな車があるっていう、そのピンからキリまでこの WTAC にはいろんな車が展示されてるっていうところが面白い。
This event that Ian Baker and his team created, I think, is just this really cool event that is world renowned now and bragging rights. You come here, you bring your pedigree of vehicle, pending the class, you do well, it's known. It's on a global stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first official lap coming through here for Martin Moyer as he triggers the times. The Arvu Racing S2000, what an iconic car. If it feels good, if it sounds good, if there's no one in front of you, I think he's still on one here.
Over and above just the time attack, which is a thing on its own, it's a whole real gathering of car culture.
As long as Ian Baker is around, he's going to make sure that this form of car culture never dies.
We don't have people that like time attack, we have people that love it. These are our people.
まあ日本の車好き、走り屋さんとか車好き屋さんはこの WTAC みんな知ってますよ。だからもう本当に何だろう、日本のメーカーもチューニングショップもそうですし、このイベントにね何社か出てきてますけれども、もっともっとここに来て車を楽しんでほしいなと思いますね。
オーストラリアっていうのは一番の聖地なんで、みんなが一生懸命そこを目指してやっぱりこうする。今年はスプーン、日本でいうホンダシビックタイプ R でチーム名がスプーンっていうやっぱり日本で世界的にも有名なショップの車で、この車は2年前にサンダーヒル25時間レースっていうレースで優勝して、でその状態でそのままこっちに持ってきた、その車で今回走らさせてもらいます。
Yeah, you know, when people tell me or ask me if I've ever been here, obviously my answer has been no, but they're always like, oh man, you're in for quite a big of a surprise. And I think what they're referring to is not just the driving element, but the environment that comes with the vibes of this event. I mean, there's people coming from across the country, across the world just to check out this event. And so, yeah, World Time Attack Challenge, man, it's going to be quite a big vibe and a party.
These days, I've got a team of amazing people behind me, and not unlike any professional level motorsport. You know, these guys are turning up and going, man, this is like pro show. But in the early days, it was just me and 2 guys, and I was just exhausted by 10 a.m, but that's what it took to get it going because we didn't have any money.
I'm Alan Ciafone. I'm the event director here at World Time Attack Challenge. World Time Attack Challenge right now is basically my whole life. To be able to go from being a fan to you know, helping run the show, getting from such a small core organisation and building this huge operation that you'll see here at the event, it's really a crescendo throughout the year. The difference for me, for World Time Attack Challenge, just seeing things that you would never see together, people that you would never see together, just all come together. Join in this mix of crazy.
That is the silliest thing you could possibly see on a Friday afternoon in Sydney. A tank and a rat rod being drifted on the main straight.
Have a listen to it, folks.
Just Baker's madness at its finest here at Sydney Motorsport Park.
World Time Attack 2023 is basically welcoming back the world. You know, everyone's went through that crazy lockdown, and you know, they shut the borders and no one knew what was going to open up, and then so now the world's open again, and you know, and I think everyone was chomping at the bit. 3 years. Some of these guys have been just working on their car for 3 years, so they're back here now. Game on.
The world is back. It is open. Destination New South Wales. Sydney Motorsport Park is the place to be.
Just relaxing up a little bit. This is our first run, first official time run, and the weather's good. The cooler conditions always means we get a fast lap time, so we're going for a good lap here. This could potentially be the best circuit conditions of the whole World Time Attack for 2023, so we're going to go out and give it heaps. There's a lot of expectation. There's no mistake or hiding the fact that we're trying to go for the lap record. So we've done a 1:19.2, and that's only 1/10 off the lap record held outright by Nico Hulkenberg. So that's what we're going for.
When it broke the record, our event record in 2019, when it did a 1:19.2770, and we were just, you know, an eyelash away from the lap record, that was quite inspiring to see that it still had so much left in the car.
Turn 1 Armando corner. We're in car now with Barton Moyer on at this 1:19.277. Turn 2 out wide. Makes that apex just a little bit longer. Brings it in, squeezes the throttle. We'll keep our trap shut for a second. Let's have a listen through these corners, folks. It's all for you guys. Gentlemen, that's what the quickest lap here this weekend for 2019 is all about.
That 2019 lap from RP968 was certainly something special. When you compare it to, say, a V8 supercar round into Sydney Motorsport Park, you're talking it's nearly 9 seconds faster than what a V8 supercar is capable of doing around there on a soft tyre. And then when we look at the outright lap record, we're getting tantalisingly close to that Nico Hulkenberg outright lap record of a 1:19.1 set back in the days of the A1 GP. And they were purpose-built, high aero, high horsepower, single-seater cars.
There's this lap record here, which is a bit, it sort of should be tempting, but to me, I never really thought that was ever possible to get a car like a street-based car to go that quick. But then a couple of years ago, I realised it was, pretty achievable, really.
Again, it became another guy that had the bug bite him so hard that not only did he engage probably some of the best engineering we've ever seen, but to pursue it like he did, it's turned that car into an enigma.
Well, look, it's a development thing, you know. We all want to make a fast car, and there's not many rules, so it's just tempting, really. And I first came when it was really, we had some really big, the Nemo and Under's car, and we all like to modify cars, and it's a way you can modify it and test it, see how fast it'll go.
The people that they've got on board is incredible. Sammy Diasonis, you know, an ex-Toyota Williams aerodynamicist on a project of a car that you wouldn't see on the roads normally. And now it's one of the fastest cars here at Sydney Motorsport Park.
Everyone really, really digs that thing. There would not be one person that comes here that looks at that and goes, nah, it's not impressive. It's damn impressive.
This car was going to be an open car originally, but I like to do things a bit as fast as I can. So then it just had to be a pro car. There wasn't any choice.
It just quickly morphed into this monster, and it is just a silhouette of a 968. And Rod was very particular to keep some of the shape of the 968. And the engine is a 4-litre engine, so it's been bought out, but still a 4-cylinder, same block dimensions, but that's all that remains of the Porsche. And it's as far removed from a 968 as you can imagine.
But someone I knew from driver training, and I actually asked him for advice, and we just got talking. And you need someone that can communicate with you, particularly when you're financing it. He's someone you can talk to and trust, and he understands really what you want to do.
It's just about driven everything Bart, you know, open wheel champion, all that sort of thing. I'm sure when he brings Bart and go, right, we're ready to test, I'm sure Bart's there. I'll clear my schedule, I want to run that thing. I mean, I think there'd be probably a list 100 long, professional drivers that would probably want to drive that thing. Who wouldn't want to drive that thing?
The guy weighs about 36 kilograms and he can drive like probably Michael Schumacher, you know, so he'd be one of the most underrated drivers in this country.
We often only get one lap to do the ultimate time, so the pressure is on me to make sure I hit every brake marker, don't run wide, don't miss a gear shift, and commit to a level that I haven't driven around here before at.
One lap against the clock, go as fast as you can. Really? Yeah, fastest time wins. Well, that's what we're here to do. So, yeah, there's more, definitely more. Fuck yeah!
I've got no words. I don't even know what to say.
It's been a long time coming. You know, we probably would have thought we might have been able to get it earlier. So if I don't look overly surprised, but I am very excited, and We knew this morning with the cooler conditions might be the time to do it. To be honest, the track wasn't as grippy as I thought. There's a bit of oil down turn 8 and a bit of concrete dust, so there could be more in it.
They came in, they ran their 118. I said, so what now? You're going to park it up? They go, no, now we're going to turn it up. So it's incredible to see them break that, and such an emotional time for them as well. I'm real proud of that team.
Oh, Mum.
Oh, it's fantastic because he really deserves it. He's worked really hard, and you know, it's good.
Full credit to everyone at RP968 and to Barton. That lap was just something stunning to watch, and to sit here and to be a part of seeing history made. It is unbelievable. But I suppose now the bigger question is, how much more has this car, this team and this driver got?
But it's still this front end. I think I was more aware of it. So at that point where I needed to generate more steering, I was very gentle with it, and just gentle when I cracked the throttle, but it's still there. And especially turn 1, I was slow through there because I commit, it's in, and then at some point it just grabs.
We've developed a protocol with RP968 where after every run, we go in for a team huddle, and basically I just debrief what's just happened in the lap, and that goes to the engine tuner, the aerodynamicist, the engineer and the mechanic, so we all know what's going on, and then we break away and all basically go into our areas to try to develop or fix or change things on the car.
Gear shifts?
They're okay. They're the same as yesterday. Still feel slow, particularly the upshifts, but if it's working, it's not hurting things there. But yeah, no alarms, no vibrations, no noises. Not so much doughy that it's a turn in, and then it's not coming into the apex. So, but then as I slow, hit a bump or lift, and the front finally grabs, and then it's a real aggressive.
So it eventually bites once it's low.
But it's at that point it's too aggressive.
Yeah.
For me this year, Xtreme GTR go into that open class as probably one of the favourites to be able to sort of reclaim that title. It's a family-run operation. They come back every year with so much enthusiasm, and this car at full tilt down the front straight here at Sydney Motorsport Park is something you just have to hear.
There's an excitement that comes with World Time Attack that you don't quite get at the other events. The inspiration, it was never planned to be or go to the level that it did. It evolved. By the time that car got built, open class was just going ahead in leaps and bounds. So you kind of felt even during the build that you just had to keep changing the direction that you were going to keep in if you were going to be competitive. You know, we don't profess to be the experts on anything. We just thought that if we had the right people, the right team, that I could build this car of my dream. At this point, I was so determined to do that. And along that way, there were certainly enough people telling me that I couldn't do it, that the class was above me and I'd never win. And you can get very determined when you're told that enough times, and I really did get determined. At that point, that's when I decided to throw everything at it and put a good driver in and see just how far we could go. I'd like to think that we can get out there and if we can keep everything together, and I know that I know racing and I know how unpredictable it is, but if we can keep everything together through there, I really believe that there's an opportunity that we could break the record again this weekend, and I'd be thrilled if we could do that. Tim Slade as a driver is one of those all-round drivers that anything he gets in, he's always going to be fast. His credentials in the V8 supercar world speak for themselves. You know that Tim's obviously going to be out there to sort of push the limits in both cars. Tim doesn't come to World Time Attack to finish second, so look for him to be incredibly fast in both of those cars.
Let's have a look at Tim Slade's first lap down in for Xtreme GTR. It goes minute 27.558, minute 27.558 for Tim Slade.
So we've seen Slady lay down a reasonably conservative banker lap for this Xtreme GTR. But this first run, it's just about, I suppose, checking the setup of the car and making sure that everything's working well.
I reckon we need to put more rake into it, maybe. More what, mate? More rake. Yep. I can't really see why we couldn't take more wing off ego. We can do that. But do you reckon that you couldn't taste the change? That's so weird. It's a massive wholesale change, like with the you lose, say 2 tenths. Yep. It's actually like 8 tenths quicker than the last year with just a turn through. Yeah.
Brad's definitely a pretty special individual. I think you either click with him or you don't. When we first met each other, I didn't think he was the greatest person in the world. Look, the best thing about Brad, you could have a screaming match, and he's pretty black and white, and facts are facts, and you sort your differences out, and then you get on as per usual. So, he's an extremely smart guy, and he's done a great job with the guys and their team on this car. So, the relationship's good.
Tim's happy with it. Brad's happy with it. We still haven't sort of really wound it up or anything, so that's a good time for a gentle sort of run, if you could say, couldn't you?
We've got a banking lap, and so we can just tweak it up a little bit. We didn't want to go too hard, too fast. We haven't had the testing that we would have liked to have done. We just couldn't get the dates in to make it work, but we're going to, we've banked a lap, so we're happy.
Yeah. No, it was good first lap. We just did the 1 lap in practice yesterday, so there's areas that we can definitely improve. Whether we can, I don't think we're going to be able to get it perfect, but for sure we can try and make it a little bit better. So looking forward to getting some more laps in.
So Matt Hall's not only an amazing pilot, but he's also a dead set good dude, and we're going to do some crazy shit. We're going to take the plane off on the main straight and, virtually go heading straight for the wall, and that's straight up, So we're not in motorsport, we're in show business.
Everyone?
How cool is it to have a plane at a car event? It's where else do you see it? You see him in the sky, but you never see him on the ground, and I think that's something so special about what Matt does, is that we get to be so up close and personal with it, and he gets to take off his plane in front of the adoring fans in the grandstands.
Strap yourself in, folks. Matt Hall, it's over to you, son. We're just going to sit back and admire it.
This is my race plane. This one's won probably 4 or 5 Red Bull Air races all around the world, and so it's just part of the scene of things going fast. I'm actually going to do a cheeky lap around the track as well. I'll be a bit higher than these cars, but I'll go and see how fast I can run a lap myself. Plane can do 14G. Most people pass out at 4G. The F-18s I flew for a living are 7.5G. So a huge amount of G, huge roll rate. In fact, this is the most manoeuvrable piece of machinery that carries a human being. We're not talking just planes, we're talking any type of machinery that carries a human. This is the most manoeuvrable piece of machinery.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen in the grandstand, give them a big round of applause and some clap, cheer and whistle. Clap, cheer and whistle. Oh, plain donuts. Come on, folks, let's hear the cheering. Let's hear the whistling. Get it all wound up. Wind him up, wind him up.
Tuerck just rung him up and said, man, I want your car to come to Australia. It doesn't even comply to the rules, but it's so badass, we're going to send you out on your own. And he's here. It's a V10 Judd-powered car, what more can I say?
My name's Ryan Tuerck, Formula drift driver from the United States. I was just approached by Ian, the owner and promoter of World Time Attack, and he asked me if I wanted to bring the Supra over, and I've been, since I've been a fan for a little while of the event, I was just like, hell yeah, let's make it happen. And then it's pretty simple to sort it out and get the cars over. So yeah, we were both so pumped to be here. World Time Attack in the States is still the Super Bowl of Time Attack. There's a core group of drivers all around the U.S. that do Time Attack, Global Time Attack, and Grid Life, and there's a lot of fast cars. But this is the tip of the spear, and everybody knows, like, you don't come here to play around if you come here, you know. This weekend, I'm driving my Formula Supra, so it's a 2022 GR Supra, and we put a Judd V10 engine, so a 4.0 naturally aspirated V10 that revs to 11,000 RPM, makes about 630 horsepower at the wheels, and absolutely screams on track. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to drive with some slicks on it, and it makes a glorious sound out there.
That car was just an internet breaker, and we had to have it here. Something of that caliber. An engine of that stature, I mean, it was just natural that something as crazy as that came to a crazy event like ours. Just every little bit of that car is just perfection. Can I say that sound is incredible, and it's just something that you need to experience in person.
Yeah, my thoughts on the track here is, it takes some balls to drive it fast. You know, turn one is a super fast turn, and just trying to get up to speed on that, and then the rest of the track is pretty challenging. You know, double apexed left-hander after that into a nice quick right-hander, and a lot more elevation change than I expected, which I absolutely love elevation change and some blind turns, so you really have to know where your visuals are on the track. So yeah, it's going to be a learning, continuation of a learning deal every time I'm on track spinning laps.
All right, we found some speed.
So good. You guys, that first lap coming through here, you were quite
It felt, I drove it in way harder than I did before.
Yeah.
It feels way more stable. Yeah.
Through here it was dive, just turned in and it went.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've known Tim Slade since he was a kid. He used to play with Matchbox cars out the front of my workshop, and we've been mates ever since. And you know, when he involved to V8 supercars, and I got him involved with Murray Coote, and yeah, he's won outright here 2 or 3 times, and now he's back again in that same car.
I remember Ian when I was probably about this big or so, and I think he may have got in contact, well, talking to Murray Coote, who had Hammerhead, and yeah, my name popped up to drive it. I thought it'd be a pretty cool thing to experience.
Sladey's always been a great character in our story, I guess. Obviously being the previous champion in that, the Hammerhead it was previously known as, he's just been a gem to have on board.
The reason why we chose him was he was the only one that's taken that car to the top step twice as well, so naturally that was my first preference of choosing as a pro driver.
Tim Slade with the first ever sub 1 minute second sector. He's going to go 22. This is going to be so fast from Tim Slade.
22!
122.1.
Oh my goodness!
Ladies and gentlemen, your podium for 2016 here at the Yokohama World Time Attack.
Yeah!
Ah! Tim Slade for Murray Coote's MTA Hammerhead, and the time is a 1 minute 20.9. 1 minute 20.9. What a huge lap from Tim Slade.
Pretty sure if you ask Sladey about how a time attack car feels against a V8 supercar, he'll have some quite colourful words to say about how slow the supercar feels.
It definitely requires a bit of a brain shift driving these cars. I guess once you get used to driving, you know, say a supercar, for example, and then you jump into this and it just does everything so much better and faster. And yeah, just the supercar definitely feels slow when you jump back into it. That's for sure. You know, you're going faster in a straight line. You brake later because the cars are lighter and they stop better. They have more grip. The corner faster, so they just do everything better. The hardest part is you know, in a normal race car, you go out onto the track and you can do basically endless amount of laps until you pretty much run out of fuel. Whereas in these cars, everything is so highly stressed. They basically only do one lap at a time. It's hard from a driving point of view because you have to take such big chunks out of your driving. It's not just like, oh, I'll brake, you know, a metre later, a metre later, a metre later, lap after lap after lap. It's like, well, I just got to commit to going flat through turn one, or, you know, going 20 metres later on the brakes.
One of the big challenges that Tim faces this weekend, driving two very different cars. You're looking at Tuerck with all that aero, massive amounts of downforce. In Tuerck, that car should be comfortably flat through turn one. You then look at the Xtreme GTR, incredible amount of power. That's a car that should be doing in excess of 300 kilometres an hour down the front straight at Sydney Motorsport Park, but it doesn't have the same level of aero. So the driving style and the technique to get the best out of both of these cars is going to be very different for Tim. But again, he's the professional. This is what he does for a living.
Just double check the rear.
They know they've got to bring their A game this weekend. They've already seen RP968 smash that outright lap record. If the car's up to the job, I've no doubt Slady will certainly bring it.
Here we go, Tim Slade and Tuerck.
Jeez. Fuck's sakes. Fucking red, that was a...
We will be able to just flat tow it, I think.
Oh, yeah, some bits out the back there, just early. Some bits out the back there. Oh, whoa, hang on. Okay, yeah, well, something. That's the stuff we didn't see before.
I think maybe something in the drivetrain, right rear axle or CV. So if I don't sound surprised, I'm not. These cars are really highly strung, and that's why we're so keen to get a banker in this morning, because anything can go at any given time. So I've upset the little kids. They come out here to see something in the second run, but yeah, look, it's no disaster. We'll try to fix it. If we can't get out for the last one today, we'll get running for tomorrow.
So for Slady and the team, to see a red flag come out when you're that close to finishing a lap is devastating. There's so much that goes into prepping these cars and to wind the boost up and to send it out there and have a proper crack. So massive disappointment for them, but most importantly, the data that they will have got out of the car, they'll be able to come back, analyse that and know where they can go from here. But you can see the look of disappointment on the team in particular. They're devastated to see that lap get waved away with the red flags.
Very understeering.
It'd be the conditions.
I can jump out.
Just stay there. Yeah, no, we'll fill it up and try and get another lap in. Oh, yes, some bits out the back there. Some bits out the back there. Oh, hang on, wait. Hold. No.
And here's Tim Slade, unfinished business. Tuerck on a first flying lap. We've got greens everywhere. Let's see what he does. Representative for him. Oh, 22. Hey, minute 22. Minute 22, 3:47. That's got our attention.
That banker lap for Slady and Tuerck is so important for them. There's so much that's new on this car coming into World Time Attack. It's important that they get that banker lap, they get that data, they can go back, have a look at it and start tuning the car and come out swinging for the next sessions.
More power early, but more TC to control it.
No, that's cool.
I'd rather that way round than the other. Then put my foot down and it doesn't go.
Yeah, that's okay. So, but as long as it's not upsetting the car or... No, okay.
No, it doesn't upset the car at all.
Yeah.
It's just...
Just want to belt the power.
It's definitely better than light flaring wheel spin, put it that way.
Yeah. So
But I still think at like turn 2, when you get on the throttle, like it feels as though I get initial response, but then when I want to progress, I got nothing.
What I love about World Time Attack is it's not just about cars going fast on track. Wherever you look, there's something to feast your eyes on.
There's something for everyone, and as much as that sounds very cliche of any event, we really do have something for everyone, of all ages, of all interests. There's such a wide gamut of things to enjoy, not only car displays, but activations where you can get involved with brands that you'd only see on shelves in shops, you know. There's people there that you can talk to. The trader area is a huge part of that as well. It's being able to connect with the brands that people will buy for their own cars, getting to see the people behind them. The Lamborghini Parade Lap, it's just a great collection of such iconic poster cars. It's something that is, it's going to be quite a spectacle to see, just to have those cars all together, from the mural all the way to the event at all. It's everyone's poster dreams come true. Hyundai came to us and wanted to engaging with enthusiasts, and I think that's where they see value in doing something with our event, who's so engaged in that automotive enthusiast scene. We just threw crazy ideas in there, and the one that stuck was putting a legendary Japanese motorist in a brand new electric Korean EV.
Keiichi Tsuchiya is just, I mean, an absolute icon, a legend, and implementing and creating drift, from traditional racing, and then finding this faster line by losing traction. So he's here. He's going to be out drifting an Ioniq, all-electric Ioniq 5 Hyundai N.
Today we're going to change history. We're going to have the most famous Japanese driver driving a Korean car, which no one ever thought was going to happen.
今年はヒュンダイの用意してくれた EV ですね。だからもう本当なんかこのイベントってそういうなんか先駆けみたいな、やっぱり EV って世の中にいっぱいありますけれども、その中でそのレーシングカーも作ってくるし、でまた EV で世の中に普及してる世界中の EV ってただ省エネだけど、今回ヒュンダイが持ってきた車っていうのは遊べる EV でも楽しいんだっていうところを打ち出してるのがちょっとびっくりしましたね。壊さないように安全に 80% ぐらいで走りたいと思います。
Something on the track has come up from underneath and hit something, or
It was side to side and it felt gooey, and I was like, oh, I just slow. I just like you're on a wet.
That one's come out and the whole head drone's popped out the very end. It's the most gay setup I've ever seen.
Okay, no problem.
So I reckon the only way I'm going to get it in there though is take the rocker cover off, which means we can get a hand to do that. Let's do that.
No, that's
pretty
fine.
easy for you.
So we see a problem for Xtreme GTR to finish day one. It's only a small problem and a small part, but I'm sure this team will get that fixed overnight and be back stronger for day two.
I've played
the lap I want to do over and over in my head. When I commit to turn one flat, everything has to be right.
Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because I think the 1 minute 8:37 might be something a little bit quicker. The wheels come off. The wheels come off.
There's definitely still more in it. Would have been nice to have left here. I think, you know, having been into the 19s, which I think was pretty achievable.
You know, it was our last lap we had out here, and I was trying to just let it all hang out and do the best I can.
いやもう最高ですよね。タイムアタックがあって、あとその後ドリフトで斉藤大吾がいたりとか。
Drifting? Oh, damn good show.
Can Matty Harvey reel him in? Oh, here he comes. Here comes Harvey.
Pulling him in.
Here he comes.
The door.
Superlap shootout is for the top 5 in every class. It's about being out there when the track is at its peak.
Yes!
Come on, girl! It's a combination of enjoyment and hearing it and feeling it.
He's up in sector 1. He's up in sector 2.
We did it. We pulled it off, man. Yeah. Broke records on the track, off the track.